Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of our Football Focus SG podcast with myself, Faiz, Harun Asianafi, Mr. JB, and our very special guest. Welcome the Singapore Cup winner of 2011, Abdul Kaim. Welcome to our humble podcast here.
Hi guys, 2011 seems a long time ago, man.
Yeah, and it's 10 years ago. Like, can you share with
Yeah.
us, like, do you still have that feel, like, that when you win the trophy back then?
Um,
Or does it,
I
like, seems different nowadays?
yeah, it's because it's quite a long time ago. So I've lost that feeling, but I hope maybe in the next few years I can have the same feeling again. You
Yeah.
know, winning the SPL.
Yeah, hey, I
Yeah.
mean, of course, we are all hoping that you can do it as well. So, share with us a bit about yourself. Like, basically, which team do you support? When do you start watching football, and how do you get into football? Basically,
Okay, so currently I'm playing for Geylang International.
yeah,
Okay. So I was on loan with them last year for 6 months.
yeah.
And then they gave me a contract, a permanent contract to continue with them. I'm an Arsenal fan.
Yes,
Yeah.
me too.
Oh, that's good,
Yes,
bro. COYG, bro. Come on, you got it.
UIG, yes.
Yeah. So basically, I supported Arsenal because of Thierry Henry.
Same.
I grew up playing as a forward. You can ask
Oh,
Henry.
really?
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah. So he was pretty much my idol. Him and Alan Smith.
Alan Smith. Oof,
Yeah.
nice.
So yeah. So I begin to watch football quite late. I think when I was 16, 15.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. But I supported Arsenal way before that because my brother was he is an Arsenal supporter.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
So it kind of brushed on me.
Uh,
Yeah.
was it the
So
whole
yeah.
family support Arsenal, or do you all have like different as well?
No. It's just me. It's just me and my brother.
Ah,
My mom, she is not so much into football.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. So it's just me and my elder brother.
Okay.
Yeah. So but I began playing a lot younger when I was, I think, 7 years old, 8 years old. It's considered young.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
our country.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah. So it was my brother who he was the one who introduced me to football. Because
Mm,
I always go down and play at the void deck and all with
yeah.
him and his friends.
Mm,
Yeah. So that's how I actually began playing lah.
mm.
Yeah.
Have you been to do you remember or recall your first ever maybe match that you watched in Singapore football wise?
Oh, my brother brought me to the old Jurong Stadium where we watched SAFFC. That
Ah,
time, the head coach was Fandi Ahmad.
ah,
Yeah, so I kind of like him when he was playing for Geylang. So
yeah,
I remember I went down to the pitch because back then, right after the game, we can go down and meet the team. So
yeah.
I went to the stadium wearing the Geylang jersey with Fandi Ahmad's number 17 behind and asked him to sign in
Wow.
front of the whole team.
You still have it? Do you still have it?
No, 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 no. I gave
Ah,
it away.
ah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. My first question and answer for you. All right, just a little bit question and answer for you. Throughout your whole career, I mean, you've been playing in SPL for quite a while now, more than 10 years. Which one would you consider the highlight of your career?
I think the highlight of my career, on top of my list right now, I think would be winning the Zonal Cup. With Home
Hmm,
United.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that was one of my best. That was one of my best achievements
Hmm,
at Southeast Asian level.
yeah.
But at club level, I think it has to be winning the Singapore Cup with Home United also.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, I was still in the Premier League team, but I got called up by Coach Lee to join them in the when we began the season 2011, I remember we had our first game against Balestier, 14 February.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Valentine's Day.
Yes, yes, yeah. So that was my first game for Home United. And then we went all the way. We lost the league to Tampines on the second last day, where we lost the game to them at Tampines Stadium. We lost 1-0.
Mhm.
Um, Ahmad Latif scored the goal. But
What a
yeah,
legend.
but then Alhamdulillah, we won the Singapore Cup that year. We beat Albirex. Yeah,
That,
so I think that too, and also I think getting my first cap playing for the national team. I think that was in 2016 against Cambodia.
yeah, I guess that was that your only appearance or was it?
Yeah, that
I
was
believe you have one cap, right, for the country. Yeah,
that was
yeah,
my
yeah.
one and only. Yeah.
Hey, but still, props to you, for being one of the amazing players that in our memories that we are watching SPL right
Thank
now,
you.
since the S League to the SPL now. I'm gonna move on to Harun Nazir real quick. Do you have a bit of a question and answer for our special guest over here?
Yeah, I think my question I put it right at the end, but I just want to give credit to Abdul. I think little known fact. I think even Faiz and Mr. JB don't know. In a way, myself and Abdul, I can say we grew up together for about 2 or 3 years. You know, we were in the NFA scheme, National Football Academy scheme together. We were in the same team, and it makes me a little bit sad or proud. The word I think is proud, because it's a testament to Abdul himself. Growing up, we're still young. We do foolish stuff, but I always have this thing at the back of my head. I got goosebumps as I'm saying this. I don't know why, but I always have this picture. I would say I have this picture of Abdul, but I won't say aura, but the vibe that he gives you, or the way that I look at him, the way that I see Abdul as a person and as a football player, he's someone that he doesn't give up. When things are bad, in a way, of course, during our NFA days, some days are good, some days are bad, But what amazes me is, Abdul and myself is the same age. We are 32 this year, and to be playing like Faiz mentioned, 10 years already in the SPL, in the S League, and then transform to the SPL. That's a testament to my friend over here, And it's been a long time since I last saw him, a long time since I talked to him. Congratulations, Abdul. It is. I'm very proud. In all honesty, I don't know why. I don't know why I have goosebumps. Maybe
Thank you.
it's the fact that I'm proud to have a friend from the same batch who's still playing along with Fabian and Yase, top of head, that I know are still active today. So I'm very happy and I'm very proud. I just have a question for Abdul. For myself, I stopped totally at the age of 23 because I couldn't see a future for myself in football. Back in the day, when things weren't as stable as what it is now. Back in the day, we didn't have, for youths, in a way, we didn't have a platform because, the past few years in the SPL, we got the under 23 ruling and whatnot. There's goods and bads about that. But just a question for Abdul, 10 years in the SPL, what's your motivation? For me, I lack that motivation at the age of 23. I call it quits because maybe for me, I've been a one club man playing for Tampines. So it's difficult for me to break through. And I think, Abdul, you know yourself how difficult it is to break through in the Tampines squad. So I decided to call it quits. For yourself, what's your motivating factor to, push on and push on to be where you are at today? So what is the thing that pushes you on, man?
I think ultimately, all of us, we have made some sacrifices along the way, to actually go and play football. But I think for me, the sacrifices I made was actually I didn't go to school, because I told myself I want to be a footballer. So instead of going to school, I was training. I was doing my extra training, doing my runs, and then I finished my O levels, and then I went to IT. So I went to IT Dover. I didn't go to school. I just played football. I took the chance to go to ITE and played for the IT combined. And at that point of time, I was playing for the Young Lions. So I was telling myself, this period, I want to delay my NS and get as much playing time as possible. That didn't go well, because in 2010 I didn't play as much games. Yeah, and then I went into national service, and then I got into Home United. So that was kind of my lucky break. I think for me, I had a few lucky breaks for me. Yeah, like getting into Young Lions and all. And then I got a coach who believed in young players. Yeah. So I think ultimately it boils down to those lucky breaks. Sometimes you get those lucky breaks, right? You will get okay, there's actually hope, So you will keep on trying to go and push yourself more. And then when you feel down, you will think about, when is the next lucky break is going to come? But the lucky break won't come if we are not going to work hard for it. Yeah. I'm not saying that Harun Nazri didn't work hard. Hey, look, I've played with him. I know how hard of a worker he is. He will give his 100% every single day. But more often than not, we need those breaks for us to go and break into that first team.
Agree.
Sometimes that player gets injured, then we get to come on, and then we get to play, so
and the opportunity present, and then you just know that that's your break to step up for it.
Yes. So I got that a couple of times along the way. So that was the one, that was some of the things that kind of pushed me on. And then also I told myself that, I've gave up school, so I have to make it in this.
It's either make or break for you at one point.
So it's by hook or by crook, I have to make it, and then sad to say, I have some certain family members, who tell me, hey, why are you playing football? You cannot go far, you cannot earn much. So that was the extra motivation for me also, to go and push myself, to go and prove to them that you are wrong.
Okay, Faiz, maybe I add on another question for Abdul. Abdul, you mentioned, if that's okay, Faiz. Thank you, Faiz. Abdul, you mentioned at the start sacrifices, and in a way you sacrifice studies, education at that particular time. I don't know whether you've continued to study after that or not, but that's for another day. So do you think that's still relevant today? Because I often come across, as a coach now, some, I wouldn't say parents come up to me and ask me what their child have to go through or not, but it's in a way it's me in my own thoughts. At that point of time, I think not only you, but I think we have a few of our teammates as well who did that, and I think at that point of time, studies wasn't, I wouldn't say it wasn't as much, not as important, but we chose to follow the path of football, and we chose to, in a way, not say forgo our education, but we chose to put it aside for a while, and then as we get older, maybe we'll come back to it. Do you think in this day and age now, in 2021, that is still relevant? Do you think, as an athlete yourself, who's been in the game or who's been in the SPL at the top level for the past 10 years or so, do you think those sacrifices still have to be made, or do you think it's easier now for players to juggle both education and football? Because we see nowadays, we see these issues where there are always talks about players leaving the game at 18 or 19 because of education, etc. What do you think of it today? Do you think that's still relevant to forgo education for a bit and then come back to it later?
I think how would I say this? I know of certain players who can do both. I think Firdaus Idrus, he has a diploma in banking, if I'm not wrong. And then also Shadan Sulaiman, he graduated Nanyang Poly. Fabian also, there are players who went on to have degrees and all. So I think it depends on what you can do or what you can juggle. Like for me, I don't like school last time. normal lah.
Straightforward.
Normal
Yep.
lah. So I didn't want to go to school, I just want to play. So I kind of put my my school away. I just focus on football. But that being said, I do regret it in a way right now. I should have done both at the same time. At least I have something to use when I go and stop football, or I can go and further my studies. But then along the way, throughout my career, I went to school. I have a diploma in sports and exercise science. And also I'm about to finish my certificate in strength and conditioning.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So basically, I know when I stopped when I wanted to focus less on my school, I know that once I've gained a base in my football, I would go back to school.
Yep.
Yeah. So one way or another, you will still need your education. Yeah. So I think it's about how you juggle both. Yeah. But I think for now, I think it's a lot easier for them. It's a lot more. The schools are a lot more understanding.
Yep.
Yeah, I think there's much more like, those kind of sponsoring a bit, or those sort of like
Study programs and
those
right?
programs that actually helps the younger players. Like, do you encounter younger players that are going through these kind of programs and all?
Yeah, like I think for Republic Poly, I think those boys from the Singapore
Sports school,
they have a true train. They don't have to take their
Levels or
O levels,
something.
and then they can just go straight there. So that wasn't actually offered to us.
Back then, our time, no.
But then again, you look at Shadan Sulaiman, if they can do it, why cannot I do it?
That's true.
So I think for the younger ones, I think it should be a lot easier for them to juggle both. Because I think they have more support from the schools and their clubs.
Right. Brilliant.
Right, and Mr. JB has been pretty much quiet for the past 20 minutes. Apologies for it. So, do you have a question for our special guest, Abdul Karim?
Hi, Abdul. Welcome to the podcast. Hi, Mr. JB. You can call me Mr. or J or B or Mr. JB, whichever you like. Okay.
Call him Joe Baru if you want.
I mean, we all miss JB. So anyway,
I like your shit.
Thank you. Yeah, so okay, let's just cut to the chase. For the past 20 minutes, great sharing there. Although at one point I almost thought it's a motivational program. It's almost turning into that. But hey, I mean, again, very, very great insight. To be all honest, I'm just a fan of the S-League, the SPL. So just like probably one or two questions as well for you. To be honest, I didn't realize that you actually spent close to 10 years in the league already. I think that is quite an impressive resume, I would say. So in terms of the players that you play with, the coaches that you are under, I believe it's quite huge, right? And looking at the clubs that you played for, I think most of it are pretty much winners, in one way or another, in terms of their accomplishment and things like that. So it's quite interesting that you mentioned that you actually started off as a striker before. I believe your current position now is a defender. Yeah. So how did that transition begin? Is position okay? I mean, what I'm trying to understand as a fan is that who dictates the position? Is it the player who knows that he can excel in that position, or eventually along the way to fit a certain system, the player have to mold or shape themselves to probably change or probably have one or probably two or three more roles or position. So from a professional player standpoint, I'm just curious to know who dictates this position. Like, do you actually have one that you want in mind, or
Okay, so I think when we all first went for trials, we would play to our best position that we know.
That's right.
Like in school I was playing as a forward and all. So when I got called up to play for the COE, I got called up to play as a forward, and then I got called up to play in the under 16 with G. Then along the way I was dropped. I wasn't fit. I was the forward number 4, you know. So I was sent back to my club, which was SAFFC.
That was your first club,
so,
right? Before.
yeah. So I went back there. I played under Coach Hairi Swap. So I was still playing as a forward, and then he saw that I had that bite. I had that players how we say this that
The
I can
presence or
disrupt.
the intensity you have.
Yeah.
That's what I always see from you. You always have the intensity when you play. Every time I watch you play as well, you have the presence of, like right nowadays you're a defender. I feel like you're gonna murder someone as a striker over there. That's what I feel. But yeah, continue then.
Yeah. So he saw that I have all those things to make it as a defender at that point of time. So he changed me to centre back because at that point of time we were conceding a lot of goals.
Oh.
Yeah. So he put me at the back. Then we were in the mid-table, and then we finished second in the league.
Wow.
Yeah. And then by the end of the year, I got called up to NFA under 18, which was the 1 year, which was the 1988 batch.
Yeah.
So I'm 1989. So I got called up to the 1 year older batch.
Mm.
Yeah. So as to play as a defender. So from there onwards, I began playing at the back. From centre back, then I play on the right back. So for Sundram, he thought that I need a younger player behind. Maybe I can mold him. Yeah. So he took me in. He enforced certain things in me that I really, really am very, very thankful for it. I used to be when the task gets going, right, I would usually go and stop. I think you can go ask G. When we were training for Mike Wong, when they all make runs and all, when I got tired, I would just walk. Then they would continue run and run and run. But Coach Sundram instilled to me, he go and instill in me that fitness is very, very important. So he go and tell me that if you want to play for my team, you want to play 1 year older, you want to prove to those from your batch that you can actually play in their team, then you need to go and work for it. Yeah. So when I first came to the team, I was actually the right back number 2. Yeah. So midway through the season, just before the Lion City Cup, I was playing regularly at right back, and then he put me at centre back. Yeah. So from then on, I was centre back. Yeah. So I think ultimately, to answer your question, I think it's the coach. I think as a coach, you would see this. You would see the players' capabilities. Sometimes like for me, until today, I feel like, I'm actually forward. But then I don't have that forward instinct. I have that killer instinct instead.
Right. So I believe it's more like the coaches can kind of spot your potential and your strength during training, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes, sometimes when you play football, you think that you're Cristiano Ronaldo or whatever, but but then when the push comes to shove and the training, kicks in, I believe the coach, I think that's why we have coaches, right? They coach us and guide us along the way. So so that's quite interesting. So the next, just a mini question. So are you happy with your position? Are you happy being a centre back?
Yeah, I'm actually very, very happy. I'm enjoying it.
I mean, you've been playing centre back since 1999, you said, right?
Yeah.
It's been 20 plus years now you're playing as a defender.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So my second question is actually a bit controversial, but I wouldn't say it's controversial. I think the whole world knows about it. In terms of our league itself, right? I believe I'm not sure the players do talk about this, but I believe among fans, right, we always tend to talk about comparison with other leagues, especially in the other Southeast Asian region and everything like that. So if there's one thing that you feel that our league can improve, what would that be? Or if there is something that you feel that is kind of like I would say an itch on your back, or something that you feel that the local league can change to improve further, what is that one thing?
You mean as a whole, or just the club or the players?
Yeah, I believe as a whole, in terms of our league,
Probably
to attract the
something
fans,
like how
you know.
would you pull the fans back into watching
That's
SPL
right.
regularly? I think that's what he's asking.
Because I believe you played for 10 years, and I'm sure you've seen the fans before, right? I'm not sure how the numbers are now, but thankfully, from what I've been seeing throughout coming to the pandemic, and I believe the fans start pouring in again, but because they are so bored at home, they're just okay, let's go watch a game or something like that.
It could be true, yeah.
Yeah, and then like our league even went to sharing of stadiums, right? I believe Geylang and Tampines share our Tampines Hub apparently right now, as compared to the olden days. So in terms of that, I believe as a whole, since you've seen 10 years, I mean, my question is supposed to be like a 1 hour or 2 hours answer from you, but just a quick one, If there's one thing that you feel that our league can improve from your view as a player, what would that be?
I think, in 2013, we had this marquee player signing.
Yep.
Yeah, so I was playing with Kazuki Toda, and then Tampines signed Martin Wagner. The intention was to pull fans, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we weren't getting a lot of fans through that, But then in 2016, Tampines signed Jermaine Pennant,
Yeah. That was a buzz for quite a while.
Yeah, that kind of pulled a lot of fans to come and watch, So in a way, people come and watch him, and then people come and watch the leagues. Yeah, but that being said, also I think it boils down to the financial capabilities of a club.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you look at Lion City Sailors right now. It's the only way for us to move forward is to put in money. Like we are actually saying that, oh, why are these players playing football and then doing Grab and then doing this and then doing that? These players are doing all this to go and feed their families.
Essentially to earn a living.
Yeah. So no one else is going to feed their families. We have to go and feed. So they have to do two things, and then by the time they come to training, they are tired. Yes, I think people will say, but this is your job, right? Yeah. But I also need to go and feed my kids, my wife.
Exactly. Your family.
Yeah, because I would be daring to say that we are not really being paid enough as footballers to be giving everything.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, I think people would say, oh, korang just main bola je apa?
I mean, that's the reality of it. Yeah.
You all just play football only, right? But then again, we are under contract, 12 months. So what's going to happen if we break our foot?
Yeah.
We don't have enough money to go and continue to the next one.
It's a high risk business actually.
Yeah, like unlike those jobs outside, they have a what do you say? Permanent contract,
Yeah, permanent contract. Yeah, that's
and then you have all those kinds of benefits, bonuses, and all. We all don't have.
Yeah.
So for me, if we want to pull in all these fans, we have to follow the mold that Lion City Sailors are doing.
Yeah.
It's a very, very exciting thing to see what Lion City is doing.
Yeah.
It's a very, very good mold. And then you can see, I think for the past 4 months, their fan base kind of boom.
Yeah.
So I was playing for them for 7 years, before that they were home United. We already had a fan base already. So the fan base kind of followed to Lion City Sailors. But last year, it wasn't that much, until this year, where they started winning with all this kind of style, and then they signed Diego, $3 million signing. You actually want to come and watch him play. Yeah. So I think those are the kind of things which will attract the fans. I think if you all were to know, they all signed this player from this country for $2 million, you would actually want to come and watch.
That's right.
Yeah. So there's I think that's the power of attraction. Yeah. But that being said, also, I think our players also should not take things for granted. I think the younger ones are actually take. Okay, I'm very sorry for that. It's not the younger ones. It's I shouldn't categorize as the younger ones. I think there are a number of players who take things for granted right now because they know that they are going to play. because of this current ruling. Yeah. So it's kind of not helping us as a league because you don't have that kind of fight to go and fight for your place. I think you can ask G. Yeah. Like for us last time when we want to go up, it's very very hard for us to play. You know, like right now it's very easy because you know that there are going to be 3 slots.
Yes.
Yeah.
Free up for you. Yeah.
Yeah. So but luckily next year it's going to be 1. So I think it's going to change. It's going to change quite a lot lah. You know, you will see a lot more players. Instead of like for us this year at Geylang, we have a lot of capable players, but they are on the bench because we need to fit in those 3.
Yeah, those 3. Yeah, the 3 slots. Yeah.
Yeah, and also at Lion City Sailors also. Yeah, they had to fill in those 3 players first. But then again, if things work well for you, you will groom very very good players.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that being said, you know, all these players will go to all those big clubs, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, then all the other clubs will get all like those leftovers. No disrespect to them, but then again, you know,
Of course, yeah.
yeah. So yeah lah. So I think there are along the way there are things that can be improved, and so far I think it's gonna get there. Yeah, with Shopee coming into the picture, and then hopefully you know all these other companies would see like, okay, maybe football is actually a very good business. So maybe they would come in also, and then they would do things to go and attract all these fans. But
That's
like what I said just now, ultimately it boils down to the players on the pitch. It boils down to us. Yeah.
I mean, everyone has a part to play in a way. You know?
Yeah.
Players, the fans, the coach, how the owner's gonna try to pump in money to bring exciting things. I mean, it's definitely definite. Mr. JB, any more else that you would like to ask? Or?
No, I guess just a closing comment. Yes, I have to agree with Abdul there. I think it's spot on because at the end of the day, I think football, if you look at Europe, football is essentially a big business. You know, it is a business, and then when there's business, you need money to pump in. And then yes, at the end of the day, I agree. We have to follow sooner or later the Lion City Sailor more because we can see results. Like it's almost instant results from the fans to the you know, to the title winning team. Yeah, so I have to agree on that. So yeah, thanks for sharing, Abdul. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Abdul. All right. Well, speaking about money makes the things move and all that, I think we can finally move on to other topic. The one thing that's happening right now that makes other people moving is, well, basically the news that's happening around EPL, and that is Steven Gerrard is the new manager of Aston Villa. So, of course, initially, I think a lot of people think that it might be it's 50-50 about this, I feel. Because he's doing so well at Rangers, yet he left. Some people say he left too early. Some people say that Aston Villa is not really the right club. So, I don't know. I'm going to start with you, Mr. JB, first. What do you think about this appointment of Steven Gerrard to Aston Villa?
Well, it's interesting because I believe the past few weeks, not just Steven Gerrard, I think managers just come and go here and there. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what kind of trend are they setting, yeah. Because I believe usually back in the day, I think managers and coaches are almost untouchables. It's the players the one that's doing the move. But now it seems like, you know, in the Premier League, it seems, you know, I'm not sure if it's social media, but yeah. Okay, I think Steven Gerrard going to Aston Villa, yes, it's really a shocker, you know. I really wasn't expecting that at all. Because I believe they're doing pretty well, especially for him at Rangers. Because I think Rangers actually won the Scottish title, I think, unbeaten, I think.
Yeah, they were invincibles there, just like Arsenal.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Arsenal won the gold trophy, but that's for another discussion, yeah. So
I have to slide in there.
Come on. Yeah. So, you know, at the end of the day, yes, I feel it's a surprise move, yeah. I mean, but looking at the current trend right now and the fact that players are becoming managers and in particular well-known players becoming manager, because I believe Brighton's manager is also a former player, but nobody really knows him that well. So I guess...
I mean, we have Barcelona with Xavi coming in.
Exactly. So for me, I just like what I mentioned earlier, football is business. Yeah. So I think Aston Villa, a club like Aston Villa, no offense, I mean, they are not looking to gunning the top 4, top 5, or top 6 spot at the moment. They're comfortable at the mid-league, you know, tier. So I believe it's a business move. You know, you bring in a name like Gerrard, you can probably bring in some fans. probably bring in some sales, probably bring in some excitement again. There has been lull for a certain period.
So it's gonna be like a short lived for you. Like, do you feel like it's gonna be a short one?
Well, that's the thing. Looking at all the managers who's not improving, all of it has been short-lived except for my man, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
Oh, that guy is untouchable.
Yeah, apparently I don't know what he did or what he does to the board that he is literally unsackable. So yeah, so I feel
He must have blackmailed the Glazers or someone up there. I don't know what he did.
Come on.
But Ole is always at will, isn't it?
Oh, please don't go there. All right. So, yeah. So,
Aaron, over to you. Like, what do you think of this appointment? Do you feel that it's a good step for Gerrard or Aston Villa or both?
Yeah, so I actually saw an article, or I think I saw Sky Sports News before this. I think in the English Premier League, Aston Villa is actually a top 5 richest club in England.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we just talk a little bit about facts. And he signed a 2.5-year contract, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
And that's about the same time that Jurgen Klopp is going to leave Liverpool. So there might be some. The way I look at it is, maybe there are some things going around behind the scenes that we don't know of. But okay, let's speak about him coming over from Rangers. I think he did a very good job at Rangers. Rangers, we know about all the issues that Rangers were facing the past few years, and he managed to turn it around, of course, together with the players and the backroom staff. It was a perfect match between Rangers and Steven Gerrard. Is it a shocker for me that he moved to Aston Villa? I don't think so, because I think from a playing perspective, I think they do have the players. They have a solid group of 12 or 13 players who can do the job. Players like McGinn, Danny Ings, all these players comes to mind. Tyron Mings in centre back, and of course your favorite goalkeeper Faiz in goal.
No, we have a new number 1 now, but we'll talk about that another day.
So I think it's a perfect match. Is he going to do well or not? I'm not too sure. We don't want it to be another case of Frank Lampard and Jody Morris at Chelsea, but I think it's a good marriage. I think it's a good partnership. He's one of the good people. He's one of the good players.
Like the people's.
Yeah, people love him, the way he speaks. There's no hoo-ha about him. There's no stories or tabloids about him. There's no rumors about him going around. He's always seen as a nice person, but yeah, football is football. I hope it does. I hope everything goes well for him. I never want to see a player get sacked, a manager get sacked, or a manager having to leave his position. So I have that gut feeling in me that I feel that they're gonna do well. I think they're gonna finish in the European spots as well. Who knows, top 8. Yep.
Nice. Abdul, over to you. I'm sure you see a couple of things happening as well. So do you have a bit of thought about what's happening with Gerrard going over?
Yeah, I think I have to agree with Harun Azri. I think that Gerrard is a coach that he has done very, very well at Rangers, and then coming over to Aston Villa, he used to be the type of player who doesn't have anything going to be on the kind like Wayne Rooney like that,
Yeah.
have all these kind of things and all. So he is going to have this high level of respect from the players. And then also I think I don't know, maybe he's going to use this as a platform for him to go back to Liverpool.
It's a definite audition for Liverpool.
Yeah, because I think I saw this article about him saying that he wants to manage Liverpool. I think every player wants to manage his boyhood club. Yeah,
I think it's bound to happen for Gerrard, most likely.
Yeah, he's Liverpool out and out.
Yeah.
So I think it will come maybe in the next 2 years, after the contract finishes, provided he does well at Aston Villa,
So you're saying despite him doing well at Aston Villa, he would still leave?
Yeah.
Or will he choose to stay?
I think he will still leave.
He'll still leave, huh?
Yeah.
Look, I think at the end of the day, if he can leave Rangers, who's doing pretty well in the league right now, who just won the league last season, for Aston Villa, what more do you think he's not going to leave Aston Villa for Liverpool, a
Yeah,
bigger
that's
club,
true.
a bigger club like Abdul mentioned, his boyhood team, Liverpool through and through. So football. People talk about loyalty, but loyalty doesn't pay you money, man. It's more than that. It's um, you know, yeah,
It's a harsh reality.
harsh reality. At the end of the day, I feel, of course, he's no longer a player. He's now a coach. And which coach don't want to coach at the highest level for the best teams in the world?
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true. I mean, just also one more on the side note. I just want to to be honest. Do you guys feel old seeing that all of our used to be players that we watch on television is now manager? We have Vieira, we have Ole, we have Arteta, Gerrard, Lampard, all our managers now. John Terry as well taking coaching course and all.
And then
Like,
we have Harun Nazri.
Yeah, we have Aaron Azri as well. Yeah, I feel damn old right now. Okay, moving on. Just going back to Singapore again. Believe Singapore had a friendly match. Just as of recording, it's just last night against the Kyrgyz Republic. Is apparently now it's called not Kyrgyzstan. I think they might have two names. So of course, the main highlight from the match, of course, other than the scoreline of 2-1, what I want to highlight and ask from you guys is the four debutants of the Singapore players. Of course, is Song Wei Yong, Tajeli Slamet, Amy Reka, and of course, the young player of the year, Nur Adam Abdullah. So, gonna start with Abdul first. Do you happen to catch the match, or do you happen to see the highlights a bit, or how it goes?
Yeah, actually, I watched the whole match. It was quite
Ah.
spicy.
Nice. So you can share with us your thought about just a brief about the match. Like, what do you think about it?
No, I think actually the boys did quite well. It's just that for the first 10 minutes, it was just I think they weren't quite ready for it. But after that, you can see them growing into the game, taking control. I think there were some very good actions from Shawal, from Shadan and all. So there are moves that they made which Coach Tatsuma would want to see them do. But I think it was actually a very good run out. For the rest of the players, to go and prepare themselves, because I think the last time they played, we weren't playing that well. I think this time around we played a lot better. We have better control of the ball. We move the ball better. I know I saw some comments saying that they are one man down. We should move the ball faster. But it's a lot harder for you to do it when they are sitting back. They are having two blocks. So it's and they are quite a good team. So it's actually quite hard to go and break them down. Yeah, knowing that they have set up that block there. So it's and then for us, I think for the four players, I think they actually did quite well. Especially Song. He was just playing like how he was playing at club level. So he carried on what he was doing at LCS and then to the national team. So I would like to see him more.
Yeah, most definitely. I think again, this is just one of those things where yes, even though the scoreline says we lost, despite them being 10 men and all, it's not something that I can be really angry about or too disappointed about, because we do see some things. We're not gonna go like AFTV oh yeah, this and that. No, but I think the boys really put up a good fight. Nonetheless, Mr. JB, over to you. You watched the match as well. Share with us a bit. And also, which debutant impressed you the most?
Yeah, I actually managed to catch the match. I think on top of that, just to add on, I think the camera work need to improve. Whatever camera that Dubai is investing, please come on. I mean, that is just, I almost have a headache on the 60th minute. I thought I was seeing stars.
It was moving in motion,
my goodness,
it's frame by frame. That's what we watch.
It was stuttering, and there was barely replay. I think the first two goals, and then after that they managed to add on replay. So but that is media side So for me personally, yes, there are some improvements to the squad that I can see. I think one of the standout for me would be Shawal. I feel he did. I feel he did very very well on that match. Tajeli, I think he did pretty okay as well. You know, I believe this. I mean, like what you say, lah, debut. So
Yeah.
probably the nerves is there.
On the hype.
Yeah, and then you're trying to gel with the new team and then everything else. Song as usual. Song is really just like what Abdul mentioned. He's he's a proven player wherever he goes. So I'm actually excited to see more of him. And of course, our captain Shadan as well. I feel he did very very well as well in that match. Yeah. So overall, yeah, I mean the scoreline is of course no one likes to see that kind of scoreline at the end of the day. But taking the past performances, I feel like they have definitely stepped up their game a little bit. Tend to be more like having that sort of system that what Coach Tatsuma is trying to implement probably. So yes, I can see that, and of course, I believe this is a prep for the upcoming AFF Suzuki Cup as well. So yeah, I believe it's good things to come. Good things to come. Except I feel like it's a bit unfortunate that Haris is unable to join in, as well as Hafiz No due to the pandemic and all these things.
Yeah, I mean, of course, wish them all the best, get well soon to them, especially your loved ones. Of course, health is always important, regardless. Harunazi, over to you. Your thoughts about the match?
Okay, I'll be very honest. I didn't get an opportunity to watch the match. I saw a glimpse of it because I think I shared with you guys I was having a class, a dreadful class.
Yeah.
So I was sitting through class thinking whether I should skip this class and watch the match. But at the end of the day, I think class is important. At this age now, I think the class is important. But I did manage to watch glimpses of it. I actually managed to saw the 2 goals that we conceded. And I felt the first 10 or 15 minutes before the second goal went in, I think the game was very fast-paced. I was looking and I think the opponents were playing at a very fast pace, and I think that took the boys off guard. I think that caught the boys off guard, and I think the goals considered were fairly. Look, I'm not trying to criticize the players and our national team. At the end of the day, I love my country and I love all our players. But I think schoolboy errors, if I can say that, I think it's rather the goals that we consider were rather simple. I think both of it came from crosses. I might be wrong, but I think both of it came from crosses. The boys look a little bit shaky 10-15 minutes. I can only comment for the first 10-15 minutes. Then after that, I had to focus on my class. So I think the first 10 and 15 minutes, they were a bit shaky. I didn't manage to the 4 players that debuted or had made their debut. I can't comment much on them. But I heard a lot of ravings about Shawal. If I can say a few things about this squad leading up to the AFF Suzuki Cup. I think we have a pretty decent squad based on the call-ups that were given. We have 27 players. I think it's going to be shrunk down again. I think they're going to cut the squad again. I don't know to how many, but if you look at the squad from top to bottom, I think we're pretty stacked. We have good experienced players. We have good young up and coming players in the squad. It bodes well for the AFF Suzuki Cup coming up in December. I wouldn't want to make any predictions because so far all my predictions for the national team has not come true. I don't want to jinx it. But, a good run out. Losing 2-1 to Kazakhstan, who's 96 in the FIFA rankings, is not bad. It's not bad at all. Yes, even though playing against 10 men, so what? Usually, I'll be very honest, previously 2-3 years before, even if you're playing against 10 men in a 96 table standing in FIFA rankings, we would struggle. But I didn't saw any glimpse of them struggling. So that's a good mark of the job that has been done by Coach Tatsuma and of course the players as well. So kudos to them, and I'm looking forward to the match against Morocco. Hopefully a Morocco B team. Hopefully I don't have any classes, and I mean,
again, props to the boys, especially for Singapore. I mean, hopefully, we can talk about them in the future in their upcoming games.